extraordinary story. Just take us through your emotions today, not including the starting 11. Hadn't scored so far this season. You come off clutching the match ball with a fantastic hat-trick.
Well, I mean, it was tough moments, and I was really frustrated, to be honest. Because with the, of course, it's a goal as well. But the way I play, I could do much better than what I did. The last couple of games and start of the season, and I was disappointed. Of course, the team was doing really, really good, but individually, I was not really, really happy. But yeah, now we got a great win, and. Got the balls, and which is my frustrations going away.
What was your mindset when you came onto the pitch? You looked like you were full of determination.
No, I want to help the team because it was a tough game. It's still 3-2, and you never know in the Premier League because it can always turning around after 1 minute. So we were 3-2 ups, and I want to do my best to help the team, which is I always try to do when I play on. And even today, I was helping the team on the bench. I tried to on the bench. I tried to help the teams, and I'm glad that we won the game. And before international break, we had a fantastic result.
What was it like for you? Because you had such an amazing season last season in terms of goals, yet they just weren't coming for whatever reason.
I mean, also poor finishing, to be honest, but also a little bit of unlucky, and I could have scored against West Ham, and he scored on goal, and I scored a goal, and it was offside from Harry, and then I hit it twice, post and crossbar, which is really unlucky, and which is really disappointed with this. But I mean, goal is coming, and I was not worried about it. But which is I was working hard, and I want to always have the team, which is I did today, and then I'm always having behind a great supporter and great teammates and great staff, and this make me always believe and make me strong in these tough moments.
I'm sure you would have taken anything, one off your ear or something, but tell us about the quality of the first two goals. They were magnificent.
I don't know, to be honest, and I like to shoot in this position, and then I was practicing even when I was a kid. I think I was talking about it so many times, but look, this is always a practicing. I think I try to always, even now after training, even I have time. If you have time, I try to practice this in this position, try to shoot and try to hit always top corner. But today, luckily the ball went in, so I'm really happy that finally the ball went in.
And how long was that wait for the hat-trick when it went to VAR?
Oh no, I was pretty sure because I was looking the line. I didn't even look at it when I scored. I was pretty sure there was a goal, and yeah, if I was offside, I would say again, it'll be a tough season. But look, I mean, I'm glad to score today, hat-trick, and help the team, which is really, really important. And can go in the national team with fresh energy.
Lastly, what did it mean to you? Because it was so obvious what it meant to all your teammates and all of this crowd, what you did today. It was so obvious how high you're held in their affections.
I mean, I get emotional, to be honest, and I was also the amazing support, and I was always felt like I disappointed the team and I disappointed the crowd, and with the performance-wise, and I mean, I said before, I was amazing supporters behind me, and even I don't score, they were always supporting me, which is like every time when I play here and even our away games. So I'm really, really glad having this amazing supporter and amazing teammates and amazing staff behind me.
So you got the match ball, you're the player of the match, and it's great to see that smile once again.
Thank you very much.
It's hard not to like him, even if you're a Leicester fan, just the way he comes across. He's so humble more than anything. And, he talks about having a point to prove, but he's still smiling, although scoring a hat-trick will help that.
Well, he's done his job. I mean, he's come off the bench and he scored 3 goals in such a short time, and the quality of the finishes was magnificent. There's not one manager in world football who wouldn't want that boy. For his quality, his determination, his character. He's got everything. He's got the whole package. Everybody, every manager, he's a manager's dream. And I don't care what team it is. He's an absolute dream to manage. Magnificent attitude. You listen to him after, he's level-headed. He's took it on board. He's got left out. He knew he had to come on and prove a point, and he did. And he's putting a lot of it down to luck this season, and I'm with him, especially in the last game. He hit the crossbar, hit the post, goalkeepers are making saves. It just wasn't his time. But we said before at the top of the show, the quality of Heung Min, you are not keeping him down for long, and he's come to the top.
And what does that say about him?
Well, he's probably the most humble. He's a superstar, really, isn't he? You know, he's probably one of the most likable guys in the whole league. I think just the way he smiles, the way he plays. Everybody that meets him, everybody knows him, loves him. And the way his teammates in the crowd celebrated with him when he scored the first one just shows how much he means to Tottenham. But also, I think, to the whole league. I think everybody loves him. I think he's just one of those guys. And that's why I was saying, don't drop him. Because you wouldn't want to lose a guy like this, because maybe he could go somewhere else and everybody would want him. Every team in the world would want him. And that's why I'm saying, of course, maybe his performance said you could rest him. But these boys don't forget these moments sometimes. I know right now everything feels great, but some will remember this at some point later down the line. That's just how the guys are wired, aren't they, Tim?
Yeah, I understand it, but I think Conte's seen him in training. He's seen him for a year and a half now. He knows the character of the boy. He knows, he felt like, listen, Owen's 100% right. You don't want to lose a player of this quality. And by leaving him out for 190 minutes of football, he would have known, it wasn't an educated guess, he would have known the character of this boy. He knows he's not going to lose him. And what he's done, you have to pat him on the back, Conte. You have to say, because he scored 3 goals, he's come on, he's proved the point. You have to say it's good management. You really do.
But that's the thing, Owen, you were saying, in hindsight, which is obviously an easy thing, it would have been better for him to start. But would you have had that drive, that extra bit of determination?
He's always got the drive.
But you know, the quality of the finishing, it felt like he almost did have a point to prove when he came on.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Did that put the fire in his belly? Is what I'm saying.
No, I don't think so. They're the worst defence in the league. Rightly so. They concede virtually 2 goals every game. So you could look at it and go, yeah, but he hasn't scored yet, but he could break his duck here in the first half. He could have scored 2 or 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
The whole game was open. So really, you want one of the best players in the league out there. I understand why he did it. And Conte, in hindsight, he's right. But the point is, I would always think I'm going to go with my best players. Kane and Son. Tim made a great point. You didn't rotate Kane.
But as a player, is it sweeter to do it this way, coming off the bench, rather than scoring?
Well, it shows more
off?
character. It shows you you're still up for the fight. Yeah. Them fans are coming home now thinking, when Sonny's not in the starting lineup, they're worried. How will he react? They've got the answer, haven't they? They're all happy now.
Yeah, but do you think the manager could maybe say, I could do this again?
No, because if I'm Sonny, I'm going straight in there to him and I'm saying, you do not do that again.
Exactly.
And I think he got the message. You
don't rotate. Could come back and say to him, but look what you did.
Yeah, but you don't rotate Kane. You don't rotate me. And let's have it right. Richarlison played OK. Kulusevski was very good. Had an assist for Harry Kane. So the players who were coming in, they've had to sit on the bench. They've had to come on, and they're all doing it. The attitude of the whole squad is very good at the moment.
The kind of slight shushing to the crowd. Do you think they were getting a bit on his back? He felt it a little bit?
Well, they have been. There's been a few grumblings because you've heard it in the media. Do not doubt me.
Yeah.
I'm the main man. I am the main man. Like I said, he's won 3 Player of the Years in 4 seasons at that football club, and you've got Harry Kane there, a guy who doesn't get rotated.
No.
Act player in that dressing room.
You spoke about how it would be unimaginable for Spurs to lose a player of his quality. Do you genuinely feel he could slot into any 11 in the Premier League?
Definitely. Forget any 11 in the Premier League. Bayern Munich would rip your hand off for him. Yeah. He's been in Germany with Hamburg and Leverkusen. They'd rip your hand off for him. And then you got the Spanish teams, you got the Italian teams. He's the type of guy that everybody would be desperate to have. Forget just for as a teammate, but as a goal scorer first and foremost. He's such a lovely guy. He's marketable. He ticks every box. And that's why I'm saying sometimes that's why you don't upset these boys, because they got a lot of options. And when it comes to contract time with renegotiation, you just have to tread slightly carefully. That's all. They're just lucky he's such a humble guy and he probably won't go anywhere.
You know, possibly when you do leave him out, if you do things like this, in the end, when it comes to January, then you start hearing the grumblings, you know, of he wants to go here, possibly this club's in for him. You've not heard any of that. He's had it plain sailing up to now. No one ever questions his loyalty to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. No one ever does, because he's such a nice, humble boy. Long may it continue.
Very different feeling, though, I imagine, in the Leicester City dressing room. They've never lost 6 on the spin in the Premier League. So what does this mean in terms of pressure on the shoulders of their manager? Here's Brendan Rodgers.
It's another defeat, this time a heavy one. What did you make of it and how it came about?
I thought for 73 minutes of the game, it was a really good game, and I thought we were arguably the better side with the chances we'd created. We just got punished today for mistakes, and I'd asked the players before the game, like I said, to play with that courage and be brave, and they were certainly that. How they pressed the game, how they were able to take the ball, but we conceded early on in the second half for 3-2, and then Lloris makes a great save for 3 each, and then we lose the ball and they break away, and it gets to 4-2, and then again the game becomes open the last 15 minutes, and then that's just about managing the game really, and that's just managing the scoreline. You know, the 2 centre halves were fantastic today, but in that last little period of the game, we were so keen to try and get something back that we left them isolated. So the score then looks a lot worse than what the actual game was, I felt.
So not a fair reflection for you?
No, I don't think so. I think if I look at the number of chances that we created, I'm really disappointed. Obviously, like as I said, we had 4 goals really. If you think of the 2 set pieces, that we need to be better individually and in those aspects, and then a couple of mistakes when we gave the ball away. And if you do that against top class players, then you'll see what Son can do. He scored 2 absolutely outstanding goals. So I really feel for the players, because I didn't feel they deserved that. I thought they were brave in their pressing and stopped them playing, and then we played well ourselves, created opportunities. Lloris made some great saves, but we just have to be better in key defensive moments.
Is that another frustration, because some of those are familiar failings?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's that's been the disappointment. I think we've scored goals, we've looked creative, and when we pressed it, we've pressed it really well. But it's mistakes that have been costing us really. And then, of course, when you haven't won the games that we have early in the season, then your confidence can take a hit, and especially when it's giveaway goals. You know, so it's been a really, really difficult start. Of course, international break now to recover, and then a run of games start with Nottingham Forest to get back on track.
You said yourself this is the toughest period of your career. You're an experienced manager. 6 straight defeats, and a heavy one at that. How much does this scoreline, do you think, increase the pressure on you?
Yeah, very much so. No, it absolutely does. I come in every day and do my work, and we can see the players playing with the confidence. However, you got to win games. So I totally understand that. You know, I understand the frustrations of supporters and whatever. So yeah, I can't hide from that. It's my responsibility with the scores.
How supportive do you believe the owners you have are of you, and their belief that you can turn this round?
Listen, whatever happens, I'll have a huge amount of respect for them, because they've given me great support since I've been here. So I understand the game, I understand football. Today, the scoreline I didn't think reflected the game, but the bottom line is we've had a heavy defeat, and we should have been better. So for me, they give me brilliant support, and like I said, whatever ever happens to me here at Leicester, whether I stay or whether I continue to fight on, then I'll always respect them.
Thank you, Brendan.
Pleasure. Thank you.
How much of the state Leicester find themselves in should be laid at Brendan Rodgers' door right now? Should he be getting more from this group of players for you?
Yeah, I mean, you saw there, he's had some tough games. I mean, the fixtures have been tough. But
Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea.
Yeah, but when you play against Southampton, then you need to win that one. He knows that. I mean, he's an experienced manager. He needs a result for his life at the moment, and I think he's under huge pressure. I really do. I think, listen, he talks brilliantly. How he keeps such a level head when he's just been beaten 6-2. And I agree with him. I don't think it was a 6-2 scoreline. I think it was spectacular goals from Son when he comes on. But they're making big errors. You know, the defence is very poor. The set pieces, again, worst record in the Premier League. It's not great. They look okay going forward, but in fits and starts, there's no... I think he's been let down in the transfer market. Both players going out, especially Schmeichel, goalkeeper, huge experience. Just give him what he wants, because you're clearly missing him. They didn't do that. He's moved on. The players they brought in, listen, I don't think all of his signings have been a success. Perhaps that's not why they're trusting him with the money, but I think he's a very good manager. But I think he's possibly come to the end of his tenure there.
Do you?
I really do. I think where Brendan's talking there, I think he possibly sees the writing on the wall there. We're into an international break, which is not a good time if you're a struggling manager, because it gives someone else the opportunity to come in and work with the players, and your next game is against Nottingham Forest at home. Now, if you can't beat them, you are in serious trouble.
That's 2 weeks on Monday. Will Brendan Rodgers be in charge of Leicester for then?
I hope so. I think it's the wrong decision if they sack him completely. He's their most valuable asset, by the way. You know, he's been there. He's made them. He's overachieved so significantly with this group of players. It's almost spectacular. I think they've had a net spend of 25 million since he's been there. You know, finishing. They could have been in the Champions League places. But they finished 5th.
Yeah, twice.
And won 2 trophies.
Yeah.
And you're going to sack it. Look.
But you talk about net spending. Total spend is 220 million.
I get
in
that.
his time.
But the point is, he's overachieved with the group of players that he's had. His job as a manager is to make the team perform.
Yeah.
And based on the money that they spend, that's a mid-table team. So if they finish 5th twice, he's done a good job. He's won 2 trophies. Yeah, I appreciate Leicester won a Premier League trophy. The point is, the money dried up this summer. And that's not Brendan's fault.
Yeah.
They're struggling right now, huge. They lost Fofana, they lost Schmeichel. That was a disastrous decision.
2 days before the start of the season.
The goalkeeper, Danny Ward, is struggling. I think he's only played, 8-9 games at this level. It looks tough for him. All I'm going to say is, Brendan gets responsibility for setting the team up. He's right. At 3-2, that was a game. They had more shots, more possession than Tottenham. But the problem is defensively, Leicester, when they won the league, they were brilliant defensively. They are so vulnerable on set pieces, in so many phases of the game. But because he wants them to play, they're playing. The problem is that's where all the goals came from at the end of the game.
Yeah. They've already lost 11 points from winning positions. That clearly can't continue. Yeah. So what does Brendan Rodgers do, with the window clearly firmly shut, to turn things around?
Well, look, the next game, Nottingham Forest, is the perfect game. If he loses that, then you can talk about making a change. But 3 points at this point, when you're down there, the complexion completely changes. Tim mentioned they played some tough games. Of all those teams there, they're probably only favoured at Southampton? Maybe Brighton. Probably not, actually. So only really Southampton. So they've had a tough run. Now he's going to have to find a way to galvanise this group. Hopefully they don't make a change. Yeah. Often we see teams do in these situations. But I think Brendan gives the best interview under pressure of anybody in the game. Absolutely. He was calm. He analysed it correctly. And I think he could get him out of it with time.
Looking at his body language there, does he look up for the fight still for you?
I think he's always up for the fight. I really do. I think he will know what's happening in the background. He would have heard some whispers. He will know he's under pressure because he's correct. You know, he's a football manager. He knows football, he said. And what he means by that, if you don't win games, there's a good chance you're under pressure. He's certainly under pressure. And I just think when chairman and owners make a decision to release their manager, it leaves them off the hook a little bit. So they're shifting the blame to the manager, who's done brilliantly for him for a number of seasons. But it looks like the rug's been pulled from under his feet regarding the finances.
If you're in the Leicester dressing room, you're one of those players. You're now into a fixtureless 2-week period. Is this the right time for that to happen?
Well, the players got to put themselves together. You know, they got to figure it out. Forget about the manager. They know they got a good manager there. They're not going to get a better one than that, even if they make a change. The players, Brendan, they got to stick together, sort it out. They've had some good times. This is the worst they've had. They can come out of it, but they've got to stick together.
I think they've got to be up for the fight. They really have. They have to show a little bit more fight. And today was okay with the ball. But when the going gets tough, they have to roll their sleeves up and dig in. They don't look like they've got the character to dig in and fight a result. OK, Owen, Tim, thanks very much indeed. Goes from bad to worse then for Leicester. But what a way to answer your critics from Heung Min Son. A hat-trick in just 13 minutes. I think the message is clear to Conte.